Greetings. My name's IELTS.EZ, but I'm the American counterpart. Well, I'm your examiner today. We ran out of examiners here in the center, so IELTS.EZ substitute. Maybe. So why don't you sit down and tell me your name? We can start. Right. Nice to see you. My name's IELTS.EZ, and I'm your British counterpart. Shall we start? Sure. Do you like to dance? Yeah, I love dancing. In fact, I can do popping and also some shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Well, interesting. Have you ever learned how to dance? Yes, I have. As I just told you, I learned how to dance and I learned how to do certain dance moves myself. I went onto YouTube, watched my idols, and then imitate them step by step. That's how I did it. Alright, what kind of dancing do people in your country like to do? Well, I think that really depends. Youngsters in my country really love hip hop dance. You know hip hop dance, right? Popping, break dancing, and stuff. But it seems like the elderly prefer traditional dance, such as hat dance, where people dance with their Vietnamese conical hat. When do people in your country dance? For oh shit. When do people in your country dance? For traditional dance, I think they only do it in special occasions, such as celebration and stuff. But with hip hop dance, I think you can see it every day, cause it's really popular. If you go to places like Lenin Park or certain playground, you can definitely see young boys and girls practicing hip hop dance moves there. Do people in your country dance during traditional festivals? Yes, in most traditional festivals, we always have one particular part for traditional dance performance, such as hat dance or scarf dance. Do you think there are any benefits for young people to go dancing? I think it has countless benefits in terms of physical health. You know, dancing means lots of moves and you kind of sweat like a pig when you dance. So I reckon that it's one of the best ways to keep fit. Um, Another thing is that an impressive dance also means a creative one. So it is definitely a way to express as well as improve people's creativity. Yeah? Alright, interesting. Let's talk about other topics, shall we? Do you like parks? Yeah, I must say that I do. Places like Hanoi are really polluted these days. I can never enjoy my time that I spend outside of my house. The only place that I can do that is in a green park. I can do so many things inside a park, like relaxing, exercising. You can dance as well. So yeah, I kind of like parks. Are there many parks or public gardens near where you live? Not that I know of. There's only one particularly big and well-known park in Hanoi that I know of, which is Thống Nhất Park. I live right next to it. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other park worth visiting. Do people in your hometown like to go to a park? Sure, I'm certain that they do, especially when the environment is so damn polluted right now. Everyone needs some sort of fresh air to to breathe and some kind of peaceful and tranquil place to relax. Do you often go to a park? In the past, yes. I used to be a frequent visitor of Thống Nhất Park. At that time, I was learning how to dance, and there were many hip hop teams and activities around Thongyet Park. There was also a parkour group, which I was really into as well. Now I'm just too busy with my job that I can't find my time to go to any park. Did you go to parks when you were a child more often than you do now? Yeah, I think so. I am a grown up now with so many responsibilities, job, girlfriends, family, rent, so on and so forth. So no more time for park. When I was more, my dad always took me there for bike rides and exercise. Good old time. But right now, as I told you, responsibilities, and I have a part-time job, working in an English center, so I don't have much time now to go to a park. All right, good job, myself. Let's go to part two. In this part, you know what I do, right? I'll give you a cue card, and you have 1 minute to prepare and 2 minutes to talk about it. Here's the cue card. Number 19. Describe the first time you used a foreign language to communicate. You should say who you communicate with, what the situation was, and what you said or wrote. And explain how you felt during this experience. Alright, are you ready? Sure. Well, let's go. I've always been good at English. I couldn't remember how I started learning English, but I can remember very clearly how I first used English to communicate when I went abroad. It was in 2005, so it was roughly 10 years ago now. My family had a trip, I think, a 3 or 4 day trip to Malaysia and Singapore, and it was a fabulous trip. I was only 8 or 9 years old at that time, and I was super excited about my first time abroad. Both Singapore and Malaysia are countries that can speak English fairly well. So in many parts of the trip, I saw the local people talking to each other in English. Um, and I was wondering if there could be any chance at all that I could use my English to chat with them, to practice what I've learned, and also to show my parents that I'm good at it, right? And that chance finally came when the whole group got to a shopping mall, and the tour guide had to go somewhere else to, take care of some unfortunate business, diarrhea, I think. He left us stranded on our own, trying very hard to buy digital cameras. And most people in our group didn't know any English at all. So it was really funny and ridiculous seeing them talking in English, both in English and in broken Vietnamese. You, me, no, no, come on, come on. And I was laughing all the time. Then came the moment of realization, and I realized that I could use my simple textbook English to help them communicate. You know what? I did just that, just simple translation and interpretation. This and that, try this, try that, want this, want that, yeah. And it just worked perfectly. The group got the cameras they wanted, and my parents also got what they always wanted as well, a good camera and a perfect son who can speak good English. Well, not just that. After selling many cameras to many people, the owner of the shop was really thankful to me. He was grateful, and he offered me a Canon bag that I used for school later on. Well, I got the bag for free though. It was like a gift. And it was such a nice experience for me that I can never ever forget about it. If I could turn back time, that would be one of the first memories that I would love to relive. Wow, interesting. That's lovely. Alright, so Besides English, what other foreign languages do some people in your country study? Well, I reckon Vietnamese people do study many other languages other than English, and I believe those languages are, well, firstly Chinese, the second one is Japanese, and then Korean. Yeah. Can you explain why people learn foreign languages? Sure. I guess there are two main reasons why people do that. The first reason is related to either business or study. People might go abroad to start a business there, or maybe the foreign people may go to our country to start business here. And then people might go abroad to study. Now that happens a lot in my country. Many students have to go abroad and to work and to study. So the first thing they do is to learn the language of the destination, so, when they go to. And the second reason I think, which I think is reasonable, is that many youngsters fall in love with the foreign country's culture or language, and they just decide to learn the language voluntarily, without any other reason. For example, many young girls I know love Korean movies, and they decide to learn Korean for no particular reason whatsoever. They do it just to understand what their oppa say. So yeah. Do you think it's useful or important to study a foreign language? I suppose it's a must to study a second or a third language nowadays. The world has become smaller than ever. It's like a village now. Really easy to travel to another part of the world and stay there forever. If you kind of know another language other than your own, then I think it would be a plus in your CV at least, or your life. It kind of makes your life easier and opens more doors. Now, which do you think is more important? Learning to speak a language or learning to write it? Well, I think it depends. It really depends on the situation. I mean, if you go abroad and study or work in an office, then it is a must that you know how to read or to write, because you will need to use written communication sooner or later, right? But if you travel abroad for leisure purposes, or if you go there just to work as a cleaner or some other blue collar jobs, then it might be more practical to be good at speaking rather than writing. It saves you more time. At what age do you think is the best for a person to begin to learn a new language? Well, I think the answer would be as soon as possible. The younger we are, the better and quicker we learn. I experienced this myself. In the past, I was able to switch from American to British accent in only 4 months. So prior to my arrival in the UK, I used to speak with American accent. But after just 4 months, I was able to switch to British accent completely. No one was able to detect my American accent. But after years of speaking with only one accent, and after reaching adulthood, when I'm a grown up already, I find it extremely hard to switch back to American accent. You see, it's just a real life example sitting in front of you to show you the point that it's better to learn things when you are a child. How do you think teachers would make language classes at school more successful or more interesting? I think teachers should put themselves in the position of their students, like walk a mile in their shoes before the teaching. This is to make sure that teachers understand what students need before throwing unnecessary, boring information at the students. Especially when the students are in secondary school. During that time, their brain needs constant stimulation to find lessons worth studying. So maybe more games, more fun facts, to name but a few.